Hello students, welcome to the lesson. I think a very sophisticated topic chosen today, that is a network protocol, or you can better to say a communication protocol. Now whenever you're going to deal with this, normally we will be dealing with certain rules and regulations which is not visible also. It's a very abstract type of thing which is going to be abided by all the component, all the technologies, so far the data communication can take place, because ultimately internet is the largest public data network, and today we have just chosen the topic. So let's start. Now, whenever you go for that, normally you can understand and you can also identify that whatever you have done earlier, that in network or networks, normally there is a host working as a client connected to internet. Then there is something called a server also as a host connected to internet. But the difference is that somebody is sharing something and somebody is receiving something. Now whenever through a network of network, that means the internet, the sharing of resources are going to take place, especially for the data and services. So certain rules are to be abided by, so that the things can be performed or executed, transfer or transmission can be performed or executed in a proper way, so that the content should not be distorted, and that is being taken care by the protocols. Now whenever you go for this, you can find it out that whenever we are dealing with internet work in network or networks, we are having the computers, the different component PDAs. Now these components or technologies or devices are different in connectivity, different in technologies. The ways on application area of these components are also different. So whenever different type of networks, the different type of technologies are going to interact with each other, but through a network or networks, certain rules should be there. In some cases it is a very generalized, so that without distorting or disturbing the basic core component and the appearances, the things can be qualitatively as well as quantitatively can be transferred in a proper fashion. Now whenever you go for that, we are going to go for certain things, we call it internet protocol. Basically it is being conceived only for internet working, and whatever I have mentioned, it is the same thing, different technologies of different type of content. But the ultimate purpose is that whenever I am dealing with the communication of data or transfer of data, normally we are dealing with the packet switching system as per the OSI layer. I think we have already completed this topic also. So a protocol is going to help you out to transfer or to deliver or to transmit data packets, better to say data packets, the core payload throughout the network, through hopping from one component to another component, one network service provider to another network service provider, one ISP to another ISP, one node to another node, one host to another node. The rules and regulations which is supposed to be supported for that is nothing but a communication protocol. Now, whenever we're going to deal with it, normally it is going to deal with certain components, which is data recovery, flow of control, segmentation, services, access point selection, obviously, and connection management. Because there are certain protocols which are working on the connectionless. In some cases, the protocols are working as a connection oriented. So connectivity should be maintained, content should be taken care of, it should be sent properly, it should be delivered properly, and acknowledgement can be done. So these are the certain things which is going to taken care by the protocols. Now come to the next point first. So before going to a protocol, we have to find it out how does the Wi-Fi components or Wi-Fi standards are being maintained or connected with a protocol. Now we know that in a Wi-Fi model we are having the 7 layers. Normally we call it a layered communication or layered protocols or the layered connectivity status. So whenever I'm going to go for network which is to be taken care by the internet also, and which is going to be taken care by certain routers and packet switching, so that segmented data, large data which is being segmented, bifurcated in small components which is supposed to be sent throughout the network, certain layered standards are being taken care of. That is nothing but a OSI model. Now there are 7 layers: application layers, user are going to interact, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical layer. Physical layer is totally connected with the actual physical movement of data bits. But whenever you basically talking about the protocols, each and every layer of the OSI model is having its own protocol. So sometimes it has been taken care by that if there is a layer, there should be at least one protocol connected with it. That means rules to make a component or layer working, there should be a protocol. That means one layer, one protocol at least. Now, in case of application layer, you can find it out also in the later on. The number of protocols are being connected. The same thing. You are having the HTTP is there, you are having SMTP is there. So these are there. But ultimately, whenever we to go for the OSI model, normally we are going to deal with, especially whenever connectivity is taking place, the last three one. I think better to say the bottommost, whatever you can see, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer, which is going to take part in hopping the packets. That means transferring component or data packets from one node to another node till you reach the final destination part. Now let's check it out, how the things are being connected a layer. Now, I think the list is totally visible. That application layer is connected with another application layer through peer-to-peer protocol. There are a number of protocols there. And if you go for it, you can find it out. There's a highlighted portion in the last three components: network and data link and physical layer. So whenever you are sending something from host A to host B, hosting is nothing but connectivity to the network. The components or the computers connected to network or internet network or networks are host. Now whatever role they are playing, that is totally different. Sometimes it may be playing the role of a client, sometimes it is going to play the role of a server. So system connected to a network and send data from one part to another part, abiding the certain layers and related protocols. I think up to this much portion is quite okay. Now let's find it out certain protocols, important protocols individually. Now IP basically pronounced that internet protocol is the superseding layer of all the protocols, because whenever we started the RPNet, we basically started with the internet protocol or the internet protocol suite or protocol suite, whatever is a pack of the protocols. Now the point is that whenever we're going to deal with the IP, the basic functionality is dependent on the technology called the packet switching. That means the packets are being hopped from one part of the network to the other part of the network, and in that case different routes, routing table and routing protocols will also be connected with it. So whenever the data is being transferred in the form of packets or segments, and it is being taken care by the internet protocol so that it reaches to the destination part through different routes using different hops and different nodes. That means whenever we're going to deal with it, it is going to ensure that being a connectionless protocol described in the network layer, it is going to ensure the end-to-end connectivity or carriage of data to different routes and across different hops. I think it is quite clear to you. Now get back to the second part. I think another one, that is the TCP or Transmission Control Protocol. Sometimes we automatically pronounce both the things together, TCP IP, because both the things are internally related, but there is a simple distinction. The TCP is not a connectionless protocol. Even it is not also in the same layer. This is actually being available in the transport layer. Whenever the actual ensuring of packets, whether it has reached the destination or not, is being established. Now whenever go for the transmission control protocol, the things are actually taken care, or the features are very simple, that please check it out. The reliable connection oriented transmission of data has taken place or not, all the and all the packets or segments have been correctly delivered, correctly transferred in the correct order. And whenever it is being happening, the management of the transmission, the sending the packets correctly and assembling or ensuring or acknowledging the Receipt of all the packets in correct order at the destination also taken care of with transmission control protocol. So it is a transport-related protocol. It's a connection-oriented protocol. The functionality is to delivering and ensure delivering of all the packets in correct order. And if it is not being done, the data transmission is going to take place. Now, whenever we're going to do it, we can categorize the work of a TCP/IP in the three stages. Stage number one, synchronization, because it is connection oriented. A proper connection is being established between the two hosts so that the data transfer or packets transfer can take place at that layer in peer-to-peer mode. The second part is the data transfer. So it is a two-way communication. That means the data can move from A to B, also from B to A, because it is a duplex one. But whenever the packets are being sent or segments are being sent, an acknowledgement is always being accepted or received. So whenever you go to back to the step number 2, the connection is being established first. In second case, data transfer is being done, and whenever you do the data transfer, what is going to happen? A transfer of data is taking place from A to B. Obviously, A is going to get an acknowledgement, and the reverse also, and data can be transferred from B to A, as well as automatically acknowledgement can also come from A to B. So second part, data transfer, that means connection establishment is the first one. Then the data transfer and acknowledgement, it is also being taken care by the TCP/IP. And in the third stage, it is the closing the connection. As soon as the work is being done, close the connection. But if the acknowledgement shows that all the packets did not reach the destination, then what is going to happen? Then we're going to have a retransmission, or you better to say refresh. This transmission can take place automatically or by the request you have got from the client. I think it's quite clear to you. Now, the next one, I think most prominent one in nowadays, because we are dealing with the browser, the protocol is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Again, it's a client-side applications and client-side protocol available in the application layer. Now, what is going to do? Now, this is going to establish a secured or not secured. Whenever we are dealing with the HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, it's a non-secured but a proper connectivity between a website and a web browser. Web browser is the software run as a client-side computer or PDS, so that the web contents. And what is web content? The different resources of different types, images, text, graphics, and hyperlinks. A special mention to hyperlink also. This is direct pointer to the special resource which can jump directly. Now, whenever we're going to get these things collaborated and make it presentable or viewable through browser, that means through browser software, I want to decrypt, not encryption, but decryptions of all the component in such a mode so that we can decode it and make it visible on the browser window. Then you have to take care of that the hypertext transfer protocol is working. That means connectivity between a website, that means network or networks, or indirectly you can say the resources available in different hosts or nodes are being actually we're going to get it through the web browser, and the establishment of the connectivity and the software support and the protocol is HTTP. So it is simply sending a data between a web browser and a website. It is being taken care by the HTTP, but this is not the very much secured one. Now, how are we going to get a secured one? Now, you can find it out the CBSE URL. This is normally available HTTP www.cbse.nse.in. But you cannot see it is a secure one. Why? Because whenever you go to the secured one, your protocol automatically changes, and it is right now HTTPS. So it is a secured hypertext transfer protocol. Actually, whenever you're going to establish secured connection between website and web browser, so in that case, if the protocol prefix HTTPS, that means the connectivity is quite secured and you can depend upon that. You can find it out. There is a canva.com written, but it is being preceded by HTTPS. So whenever you're going to log in a site in a sensitive manner, your net banking or logging in a password, opening email account or opening any of the payment login, filling up sensitive your own biodata, or it may be a special portfolio management. then you need a secured portfolio support. If you do not get a secured protocol support, then you cannot rely upon that the whatever you are doing, that is being totally secured and channelized, and it is not being siphoned off by third party. Now you can go for the one example of that also. That is the Canva. We have done this. Now the next point is mailing or messaging protocol. What are the things are available? Let's start. Now let's peep inside the certain protocol which is going to take care of mailing or messaging. These are normally going to take the most important three one. Let's discuss that one. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, IMAP, and POP3. Now when I'm going to deal with these three, so let's start with the SMTP first. SMTP is nothing but the simple mail transfer protocol. Now when you're going to transfer data or transfer packets or messages which is being related from one hop to another, normally these are also connected to the network of networks, so it is also being supported by IP also, that it is hopping the messages from one part to another. In this case, it is being taken care by the simple mail transfer protocol in such a format. So MT is nothing but the message transmission agents. Any of the system or server can take care or work as this. What they're going to do, that they are simply going to whatever the human site or whatever mail you have already composed, put in the envelope by default, those are being taken care by SMTP so that they should go to the MTA one mail transfer agent, that means one server, then it is going to hand it over to the another MTA available in a network or internet networks, just something like the hopping of packets in the different nodes. And in that way, it keep on hopping from one MTA to another MTA, and finally it reaches the destination of the server side, or better to say the destination side MTA. That means it starts from one server which is going to work at the core area for transfer of the document or the mail, whatever you can also call it, the SMTP client, and SMTP client, or you basically say the originating SMTP host from which the mail is going to be transferred, and through different number of MTAs it is going to reach the destination. That means it is going to reach the recipient's mail server or SMTP server. So there are number of servers, and one you can consider it or virtually consider that one is available at the client side from which the mail is being transmitted, the originating one, and one server is automatically working on as an SMTP recipient server where the mails are being delivered. Now whenever you go for that, you can also go for the second part, internet mail access protocol. Basically whenever the delivery of mails have been taken care, there are basically two basic protocols. One is POP3, one is IMAP. The IMAP is much more flexible because it is going to create a duplicate copy of it, so that on the run and whenever you are outside, you can use your PDAs. Just to PDA stands for the portable document assistance. Whatever you are having, you can also take care of that one copy can be sent over there also, and one is being available in the server, and you can directly pip inside the server, especially the mail server. You can directly view it, or you can make it available one copy along with you. So it is a quite flexible delivery type of protocol available at the recipient end. And the next is the post-office protocol. It is that much not frequent or flexible one, but for a small network, whenever you want to simply download the message, the things are being taken care by the post-office protocol, and this is basically working at the recipient end only, whether whenever you're going to peep inside the destination mailbox. Now let's get into it, how the things are actually being happening. Now you can find it out. We have chalked it out one originator, and the one is called the delivery. That means it is coming from originator, things are being delivered at the delivery point. Now whenever you go for it, you can find it out. We have needed MTS. It is message or mailing transfer system or transfer system. That means a complete system is there, which is including number of protocols as well as the MTS, mail transfer agents, which is going to take care of how the contents or mail from one server that originating client server to the SMTP server at the recipient end can be successfully done. And in that case, the things are happening in this way. SMTP is taking care of transferring the mail, whatever you have created, to the SMTP client. Then through MTS, whenever you transfer the data to the SMTP client, the SMTP server is going to make those packets of mail hop through number of MTS. What do you mean by MTS? Mail transmission or transfer agents. There is something like the nodes for packet switching. It is the MTS for switching of mails. Obviously, it is in the form of the packets. So SMTP also taking care of, apart from taking care of human side source system to the SMTP client, it is also sending the taking care of transferring or hopping of those mails or messages from the client SMTP server up to the destination part. And as soon as it reaches the destination part, the mail, it is being transferred to the delivery, that means the directives or the destination part. But there are two different channels. If you follow the IMAP4, that means you can view mail on the server, as well as you can have one copy of it along with it in the two different channels. It's quite flexible. You can also manipulate those mails. You can delete, you can flexible, you can reply, you can re-edit. But the other one for the smaller network, not very much flexible. If you want to download the mail only, you can deal with the POP3. I think the things are very clear. The channel starts from originator, it reaches the delivery part. From originator to up to the SMTP server at the destination email server, SMTP is going to take care of it by hopping the mails. After reaching the destination server, two channels or two protocols are being working. If you want to manipulate, if you want to have some flexibility in delivery, you have to rely upon the IMAP4. And even in small network, if you want to directly download the mail, you can have the POP3. Now get back to the other most important protocol, and that is FTP. Not very much directly applicable or directly visible or very much prominent, but it is the underlying level. That is the 5 transfer protocol, mostly working on the Unix based system, and the function is very simple, just to help the sharing of files, and especially in telnet use of remote computers. Whenever you want, especially Unix systems, whenever you want to have the efficient transfer of data, that is being supported by FTP. Sometimes it is a command based. There are certain FTP command with the help of which the sharing of files can take place. Now, after going through this, I think we can understand it. That lots of the work has been done, and for this we have taken supports also. So I have to credit those people. I think I've also got at least certain core ideas about the working of the protocol and its certain important components. So let's get back to the assignment part. In the assignment part, I have given you a simple thought that can you check the process of sending and receiving mail attachments? I think I have already spoken in the SMTP, IMAP4 and POP3. These are the protocols taking care of the mailing. But please browse the internet and please make some small brief note on it. How the mails are being sent, that's okay. But how the attachments are connected, how the things are being attached or pinned with the mail, and how it is being sent through SMTP server at the client end, and how it is being received by the destination part. Thank you. Stay at home, stay fit, and please be ready for the next component, next networking component, or the next topic, whatever you are having. Be healthy, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.